funny doing a breakup with someone I just met and just being like, hi, we're together, get out of my life. So that was funny. And I also really liked, we got to do a photo together for like later in the series, like me, like so Jean, Maxie and Jude, and that was really fun because we just got to hang around and just be like, hey, like after doing a breakup scene and then being like,
that was one of the last things we filmed, our section with Sumi and Tony. So that was quite funny to come through and film parts of season 2 and the rest of season 1 before the pilot. Was really weird. So it was kind of cool just to go back to the very start and be, you know, in a happy place for everyone. So I really liked that. And because we'd filmed another pilot previously, so it was really cool to see the differences and the change in the setup. Yeah. Yes. And we had a heap of crew that day, I remember. Yeah.
Well, this is like when you first meet Viv and she's totally her. Ooh, sex. Ooh, she's like the biggest kind of nerd that you'd see. Really hair pulled back, kind of, oh, you're making funny jokes. Oh, sniggering behind the hand, all shocked. Yeah, I guess that's where you first meet Viv and you.
Right.
She's like very Viv, all the extremes of what I've been talking about. That's kind of her right there in a nutshell. Viv.
I found the pilot really interesting from a writing perspective. December last year we did the Backdoor pilot, which was basically to show RMI TV and other people, the Kickstarter campaign it was very helpful in as well, to show them what Follies would be like and to let people see my writing style, which can be at times when it's not too dark, quippy and light and funny. After watching the pilot, the Backdoor pilot, it made me be able to rewrite the pilot, which is now entitled The Reboot, Pilot Reboot, where it's a lot more conversational, it's a lot more flowy, a lot easier to contend
Go Fish
with.
was the first episode we filmed with Sumi and Grace, like with everyone together. It was Sumi's first episode. It was really difficult to film. It was late at night, everyone was tired, and we were in this cramped, bare room. But I like that episode because it's the beginning of showing the cracks in the friendship, and I kind of like how everything spears off. Like Viv's just gotten pissed, and Jean's broken up with her girlfriend, and Jude's like, hey, whatever. And I just see Charlie as being pissed that no one's playing poker. At the end of the day, she's just going, you know what? I planned this. You guys are assholes.
Viv gets wasted. Yeah. Viv gets wasted. Steadily more wasted.
Just
Trying to break out of her Vivian shell
with alcohol.
with alcohol.
Right.
It doesn't go very well.
Go Fish, because Go Fish is the beginning of several references and nods to the wonderful television program Roseanne. In that episode, I wear my red flannel shirt that was bought purely for Go Fish, that pops up quite frequently throughout the series, and this white t-shirt, because that is my Dan Connor / John Goodman look, because one of my favourite TV shows of all time is probably Roseanne, and Follies of Youth has constantly been called, due to the realisation of my life and Follies and how it's intertwined, the fact that Follies of Youth is my Roseanne, because I'm in it, she was in it, and the correlations go out from there. But I love Go Fish because for me I love Drunk Viv because it's one of my favourite things in the world, but I also love the Roseanne references, the fact that they're playing poker, and the fact that they end up playing Go Fish. And one of my favourite lines, which is why it's repeated throughout the series, I'm the Ace of Diamonds! Which is one of my favourite lines in the whole...
Oh my gosh, that was just really... I remember that being really chaotic. Really chaotic. It was just like, bam, 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 bam. But, Drunk Viv, that was amazing. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I'm just having to... I didn't like having to be the person that was like, no, stop drinking, because I thought Sumi was doing such a great job. I was just like, no, keep going, it's hilarious. But no, I had to bring Viv back down.
Love Don't Be Like Hitler because, again, it's something that actually happened to me. I was handing out ribbons on World AIDS Day in 2012, and I was on Burke Street, and I was near Burke Street Mall, near the Myer windows, for 2 hours, and I had spent, at that stage, 24 years living in a small town called Cranbourne, and I, for the last 5 years of those 24, had tried to get a red ribbon in Cranbourne and couldn't, and got really despondent and angry at that, because any day of the year I felt like I could go and get a yellow ribbon for Daffodil Day or a Anzac thing, but for the World AIDS Day I couldn't get a bloody ribbon. So this particular year, Christine and I decided we'll hand out ribbons, then we'll get one, it'll be a thing, this will be fabulous. Those 2 hours almost soul-crushingly destroyed my faith in humanity. I stood there and handed out ribbons with people telling me that there'd already been a cure, people telling me that people taking their children away from me and holding them away from me as they walk past because they didn't want them to catch either homosexuality or AIDS. People looking at me going, why are you handing out AIDS? Wasn't handing out a ribbon, bit of a difference. So as the day went on and progressed, my yelling for "would you like a red ribbon" became slightly more angry and slightly more despondent, and I went from "would you like a red ribbon" to "why don't you take a ribbon, you can scrapbook it, you don't have to wear it," to "thank God I didn't vote for Reagan, he was a bigot," to why don't you take a ribbon, Betty White would, everybody loves Betty White. Remember the classic Golden Girls episode where Betty White's Rose Nyland almost got HIV, and that was back in 1992. And yes, I did yell all of that. And then in the end, it did end with me just saying, "Save a generation, don't be like Hitler." And while the passion was important, the end result probably wasn't necessarily what the AIDS Council wanted. But
This comfort zone. Just how fucking cold it was when we were filming it outdoors, and the power didn't work. It was like the day where everything went wrong. Vivian Wise, I guess, she was just doing her usual, I want to make everything good and give everyone a good send-off and bring everyone together like the cozy family we are. But clearly the cracks were already starting to form. So, yeah.
oh, this episode to me just represents the weekend from hell. In an unfortunate mishap that luckily nobody was hurt in, and there is really no blame, but my lovely house that we filmed most of the series in lost electricity that weekend, and we were forced to film 3 episodes that we were going to film outside, which then meant that at the end we only really filmed 2 episodes, and one probably comfort zone, or episode 3 probably didn't necessarily turn out as good as it probably could have had we had electricity and other concepts. But with saying that, the lessons learned on that weekend were invaluable, and we got some really good, strong episodes later on that day.
That was the day from hell. Tony's landlord cut the power. It was something like 10 degrees, and we then had to go outside because we had no power inside. It was meant to be filmed inside. So we were outside in the freezing cold, and I had to wear a t-shirt. So, see if you can notice I'm cold, because that was freezing. So that was a really, really horrible cold day. And Tony and me, I wonder if it'll be in the behind the scenes, Tony and me went a bit nutty in the street because we were so cold. So that's my memory of that day, was just horrible. It was a horrible
Work trip.
day.
It was freezing. I was very cold. And it was raining. That's my memory.
I loved that. I was really, really looking forward to filming that episode. I always thought it was quite funny. What my favourite thing about that is the Charlie and Brenda dynamic. They both hate each other, but I kind of go, alright, well, Brenda's clearly like 20 or something. How long has Charlie hated her? I think they all went to school together or something. So what, did Charlie hate like 9-year-old Brenda? Charlie just hated a kid. I don't know. I loved it, but I love that they just both hate each other. I really just wanted to see that come on screen. I thought it came across really good.